Off here at Episcopal High School. Rockets and Maroons getting ready. Ref declares the directions and we are underway. Opening tip-off won by Richard Montgomery. There's Alexander. Alexander dribbling to his right. Exchanges the ball. There's number 1. Pass goes inside. Picked up by Alexander. Mitchell Payton, a free throw jumper, misses. Episcopal taking it the other way. Here comes number 2, Johnson. Johnson at the point. Johnson passes over, finds number 3. That one was Stuart Greenspan, and a shot by number 5 is good. Zach Pfaffenberger hit the shot. And now Alexander, Darren Alexander, with the ball, being closely guarded by his counterpart from Episcopal. Hands the ball off. Stover passes across. He finds Alexander yet again. Here comes Darren Alexander to his right. He had Joshawn Hawkins. Ball goes back to Stover, and Stover puts it up for 2. This game is tied. Episcopal taking it back. Here's Johnson, Xavier Johnson. Moves across, we find number 3. Greenspan has it. Number 5 takes the shot, and an unfriendly bounce as that one is picked up by 22 Morrow. Alexander taking it to his right. Where's he going to go? Pass to the inside for Mitchell Payton. And a traveling violation against the Richard Montgomery center. Also the tight end for the football team. Episcopal will have possession right now. 6 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Ball being brought up by Johnson. Xavier Johnson passes it on the other side to George Mawanda Kalama. Receives the pass back. That's Greenspan. Greenspan found Pfaffenberger. Pfaffenberger for Greenspan. That one is left up. A three-point attempt by Episcopal is off the mark. It deflected off a Maroon player last, so the ball will be going to Richard Montgomery. No, actually it's Episcopal. A three-point shot off the mark. Alexander, Darren Alexander with the rebound. Alexander takes it up the right-hand side. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first period. This game is tied at 2. Here comes Stover. Julian Stover finds Alexander. Alexander receives a screen from Mitchell Payton. Ball handed off, and Hawkins misses the 3. So far both teams inaccurate in shooting from long range. So that's what the best look they often have. And now the three-point is through! Zach Pfaffenberger hit the 3. Well, it's called a... Well, yes, the scoreboard finally adjusted. It is a 3. Here comes Alexander, Darren Alexander. Passes over to Stover, 19 on the shot clock, now 18, cutting to the rim. He makes the layup, and it's in! It's now a 1-point game. 5:20 to go. Number 3. Pass it over for Johnson. Greenspan cuts free throw line jumper, no good, picked up. And now Johnson passes it in. Number 4, layup attempt is no good, but he will be fouled. That was Louis Tambua who was fouled. And it was Zaire Mitchell Payton guilty of that foul, as Episcopal will be getting 2 shots here. First shot is up and in. Episcopal now leads 6-4. And here comes the second shot. And that one is in. So the free throw violation by Richard Montgomery will not matter. Here comes Alexander, Darren Alexander moving to his right. And that ball is tipped away. 2-on-1 for the Maroons. And a shot does not go in, and there's a foul in the backcourt. Richard Montgomery will have possession, and that was a fortunate break for them, as Alexander and Stover now exchange the ball. Darren Alexander cutting to his left, leaves the ball for Stover. Stover cutting to the basket. He is fouled. He makes the layup, and now there's a chance to tie the game for Richard Montgomery. Episcopal now has a substitute ready to enter the game. It's number 12, Sen Kenyali. And one shot by number 1 for the Rockets. And it's good. Game is tied now. 4:37 to go as the ball is reintroduced into play. Johnson with Kenyali off to his left. Kenyali will not shoot, instead hands off to Johnson. Back for Tamabou. And Johnson for 3 misses. This one picked up by Episcopal, but immediately thrown out of bounds. Richard Montgomery will be putting the ball into play next. 4 minutes, 27 seconds to go. Garrett Alexander and Julian Stover exchanging the ball. Pass goes across to Stover. Stover finds Alexander. Pass goes inside to Zaire Mitchell-Payton. Back for Stover. Pass to the corner for Hawkins. Back for Stover. Back for Alexander. 9 on the shot clock and a traveling violation called against the Rockets. Well, they were running the shot clock down awfully close, but I guess that's because they're a public school and they're not exactly used to playing with a shot clock. And here's a pass. Johnson for 3. No good. Picked up by Stover, finds Alexander. A 3-point attempt in the corner for Richard Montgomery is off the mark as well. That was Kenyali with the rebound. Excuse me. And here goes a pass back for Tamabou, recovers. Picked up by Johnson. Johnson flips it out for Greenspan. Greenspan found Pfaffenberger. Now it goes across the set to Johnson. Kenyali. Uh-oh, that ball was put on the floor. Here comes Hawkins. Deshaun Hawkins with a steal. Julian Stover has the ball. A little over 3 minutes to go. Game tied at 7. Pass to the corner. Left for Alexander. Alexander with a floater. He misses. Shot rebounded by the Rockets. Put up again off the rim. Now it's picked up by Pfaffenberger. Pfaffenberger to Tamabou. Across. And Pfaffenberger will shoot 2 more points for Episcopal. Here comes Alexander. He has not yet crossed the backcourt. Now he does. He crosses the division line. Pass left up for Stover. Stover shoots, misses. Episcopal picks up the rebound. Now, Episcopal has had a decided advantage in rebounding this game. And a drive to the rim. Offensive foul. That was a player control foul called right there. And the Rockets will have possession right back. Two minutes, 19 seconds. As the clock slowly ticks down towards the end of this first quarter. Alexander closely guarded. With Greenspan guarding him rather intently. He drives to the rim, puts it up, misses. Well, there's been a bunch of bad breaks for both teams trying to make layups. They cannot get the ball to roll in through the rim. And Pfaffenberger with another shot. He scores 2 more points for Episcopal. Zach Pfaffenberger has been the most accurate shooter all game long, making 4 field goals. 20 seconds on the shot clock. The Episcopal fans making noise, trying to exhort their fans to play defense. Here comes Stover driving to the right. Makes a pass, that one is tipped. And Louis Tambu intercepted, but then he was fouled. And Episcopal will have the arrow to start the second quarter. Actually, Richard Montgomery will now have possession. That's a foul against Episcopal. And a foul called, but the ball will remain at the spot. That's the 4th foul Episcopal has committed so far. Fortunately for the Maroons, not many of their fouls have been shooting fouls. But if this continues, it won't be good for them, even though they have the lead now. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. Shot misses. And ball was tied up. So the Maroons will now get possession. That might have been a bit of a quick whistle. Ball now goes to Richard Montgomery. Lewis Tambu dribbling. Tambu, he found number 14. That was Sench Cox. Shot from the corner. And Tambu scores the three-pointer, 14-7. Episcopal has now doubled Richard Montgomery's scores. We are now under 1 minute to play. Aaron Alexander leaves the ball for Stover, receives it back. Three-point shot by Richard Montgomery. Bang! It's good! Richard Montgomery now has 10. 14-10. This game now is a lot closer than it was a few seconds before. 36 seconds to go. Cox redirects it. Pass goes inside. And that shot will not count. As with 29 and fractional seconds remaining, the shot clock will be turned off for the remainder of the first quarter. We are now back underway. Here comes Alexander, Darren Alexander. Devils moves it to his right. They'll set up for another three-point shot from the wing. That one is missed. Rebound tipped. Episcopal recovers. 9 seconds. What are they going to do? They know they will not receive possession to start the quarter. There's time to a three-point shot. Misses. And the quarter is over. As the final score after the first quarter is Episcopal 14, Richard Montgomery 10, here on the IZN Internet Sports Network. Well, what do you think about what is going on? It looks like both of these teams are good. Both these teams are good, however, both have also been playing rather sloppily today. Both teams have not had their shots fall. And what looks to be one of the problems for Episcopal is their tendency to foul. They have 4 fouls to Richard Montgomery's 1. If they clean up their play defensively, they have a better chance of winning. But if not, if Richard Montgomery goes to the free throw line early and often, they have a chance to tie this game and maybe even take the lead as we go into the second quarter. And now the horn sounds. We will start the second quarter with a score: Episcopal Maroons 14, Richard Montgomery Rockets 10. As we will see, number 24, Deshaun Hawkins, and the rest of the starters return to the floor. Coach Breslau has not substituted very much tonight. Maybe he'll reserve his subs for later, as Alexander in the left corner finds a man. He goes to Zaire Mitchell-Payton. He was falling as he took the shot, and the foul is called. And the Episcopal fans are clearly dismayed. You could hear the collective groan from the Maroon supporters. That is the 5th foul now. And Mitchell-Payton will be shooting 2. And here comes the first shot. It's made, despite an attempt to disconcert the shooter. Zaire Mitchell-Payton seemed to have ice in his blood to make that one. 14-11. Now a substitute looks to be coming in for Richard Montgomery. That's number 0, Andre Slater. Second shot, off target. Rebound picked up by the Maroons. Here comes Greenspan. Greenspan finds a man. It's Johnson. Johnson, the point guard, finds Tambu. Back for Johnson. Johnson for number 3. For Pfeffenberger. On to Kalama. It was number 3. That's Johnson. Xavier Johnson. As Episcopal is trying to move people around the lane. Number 5 matched up on number 5. That was Pfeffenberger inside. And that 3, and the shot is made. George Mawande Kalama has scored. And now it's a 5-point game. Darren Alexander has it. Alexander at Hawkins. Back for Alexander. Back for Hawkins. Hawkins, a 3-point shot. Bang! It's good. That one rolled in and out off the rim, but it went through, and now a timeout is called. I think the Episcopal coach is trying to get his team together so they can concentrate, focus on what they do best, play their game, and they'll still be in this one. And now we'll be ready to resume play. Here in the second quarter, Episcopal leading Richard Montgomery 16-14. I thought that the private school team, the Maroons, would be running away with this one, but no sir. With 6:58 to go, this is very much a ball game. As the Maroons report, now the Rockets will be reporting. And Stuart Greenspan inbound is the ball. He found Johnson, Xavier Johnson, being guarded by number 24 Hawkins, and that one is taken away. Zaire Mitchell-Payton with a steal. And the big man contributing on defense as Stover has received the pass, cuts to his right, throws it off to the left. Almost 23. He passed it off to Mitchell-Payton. That one is off the mark. Rebound picked up by Pfeffenberger. Pfeffenberger's playing the role of a center, even though this Maroons team does not have a true center listed on their roster. And that pass in for Pfeffenberger, kicked out of bounds, and Episcopal will retain possession. 16 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the period. The score still unchanged at 16-14 for the Maroons. Pass goes inbounds for Johnson. Johnson for Mawande Kalama. Back for Johnson. Now Mawande Kalama running across. Cutting, trying to get open. And a shot for three! And number 3 does not make it. It goes off the rim, so no shot clock violation. Rockets quickly moving it back. Stover tries to beat his man. Falls down. The shot goes in. Game now tied. It's now 16-16. The first time we've seen a tie score since 0-0. And a few cuts, but Mawande Kalama cannot elude his man. Richard Montgomery coming back quickly. Here's the layup. Stover scores! Stover scores! The Rockets have the lead. And this will become in a very fast-paced and intense game. Tender misses. Zaire Mitchell-Payton passes. This one is tipped. Stover has it. Stover for Alexander. This game is becoming intense. A 3-point bid from the left-hand corner off the mark. And Richard Montgomery has the ball. That was Alexander with possession and a traveling violation. And so now 5:21 to go. The Rockets lead 18-16. And a traveling violation will give the ball to the Maroons as the Episcopal supporters chant, "You can't do that!" And now a timeout is called again by Episcopal. I think maybe they're trying to address issues on their defensive coverage. Because you cannot allow points to the Rockets, especially second chance points. And the Rockets look to have been winning the battle on the glass recently. Now the first horn is blown. Both teams will be reporting to the court. And now we have Zaire Mitchell-Payton, DeMarco Morrow, and the same complement of starters that we've had to start the game coming out, with the exception of number 0, Andre Slater. And that pass goes into Pfeffenberger. Picked off by Zaire Mitchell-Payton. The rebound is redirected the other way. Here comes DeMarco Morrow. Morrow has it. Morrow found Hawkins. Pass goes inside. And that attempt by Alexandria. Alexander was all right. Now Xavier Johnson taking it the other way. For 53, and that pass goes all right. That pass was way too high for the intended receiver. And Richard Montgomery will have possession. That was Hawkins, Jashawn Hawkins. He's crossed the division line, being closely guarded by his man. Passes the ball off. He has Threet. And a three-point bid is good! Darren Alexander makes the three. It's now a 5-point game for the Rockets, 21-16. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And that pass is bobbled out of bounds. Lewis Tambu with another unforced turnover. I know this Episcopal coach is trying to save his timeouts for the second half, but you can't win if you're affected by unforced self-caused errors. As Alexander leaves the ball back, that one is stolen. Episcopal with a 2-0 and a dunk! And this crowd is on its feet as Jordan Rwanda Kalema with a dunk makes it 21-18. Threet. That is it. Back for Alexander. Alexander, a three-point attempt. Bang! This one is good. A 6-point game yet again. And the Maroons advancing the ball across midcourt. This one is tipped. Number 0, Slater, taking it the other way for 2 points. The Rockets answer. A dunk for a layup and a three-pointer. That's a good trade to make if you're the Rockets. From Rwanda Kalema. Passes over to Tambu. To Pfefferberger. Pfefferberger back for Tambu. This ball is rotated around the set. 3-point shot by Johnson off the rim. Not what you want if you're the Maroons still. They pick up the rebound. A second chance. Ball on the ground. Mitchell Payton. A struggle. Who's going to get it? The Maroons will. Episcopal. And now we will have a pair of substitutions as Sen Kenyally and Tench Cox enter the game for Episcopal. And we have Jordan Stover entering the game for the Rockets. This is now an 8-point game. 26-18 for Richard Montgomery. Ball is inbounded. And that is kicked out of bounds. Tench Cox tried to get the pass for Greenspan, but a Rockets hand intervened. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Now Johnson, Xavier Johnson has it. Facing up against Stover. Johnson moves it for Greenspan. Greenspan, Kenyally will score and the foul. This is now a 6-point game. And Kenyally has scored 2 points with a chance to make it a 3-point play. And here comes the free throw. Off target. Zaire Mitchell-Payton. He notches yet another rebound. Here comes Alexander. Darren Alexander with a weird hairstyle. Moving to the basket with a layup attempt. He is fouled. This is foul number 6 against the Maroons. And the foul goes against Lewis Tambu. First free throw is good. Made with no hesitation. And here's another shot. Gets a friendly roll off the rim. And now the Rockets in business, 28-20. Xavier Johnson crosses. Where's he going to go? He's up alone against Stover. He doesn't have a passing option. Now he does. It's number 14. Kenyally moving in and out. Now back in the lane as Johnson rotates. 14 with a 3-point shot off the mark. And Zaire Mitchell-Payton has picked up his 5th rebound. Fast break pass layup is in! 2 more points for the Rockets. It's a 10-point game, 30-20. As we are now approaching the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. What a dribble move being put on by Johnson. And that one is rotated. to Johnson for three. He misses the shot. Rebound picked up by the Maroons. Somehow they keep it in. Xavier Johnson. He found Tench Cox. And Greenspan misses. Rebound is picked up by Stover. Jordan Stover. Wasting his time, wasting his time. Now he crosses the division line. Episcopal will be sending out a sub. Pass, shot, score! He knocks it down! Zaire Mitchell-Payton with another 2 points, and this is now a 12-point game. I thought this game would be a lot closer than this. Xavier Johnson found Cox. Kenyally takes it to the basket, and a foul! He is fouled! He does not make the shot, but he will get 2 free throws in a chance to make this a 10-point game. We will now have 1 minute, 15 seconds to go following the free throws. First shot is up and in. And now the second shot. This one is off. It's now 32-21. Richard Montgomery leads by 11. Just over a minute to go. 108. That shot is off. Richard Montgomery gets it back. Stover passes it out. 3-point attempt from the corner. Bang! This one is good. 1 minute to go. 35-21. This is a 14-point game. Johnson takes it over the division line. Tambu, that pass is tipped. There's a foul. And this is not a bonus situation, so there'll be a spot foul and a throw-in. Maroons move the ball on 23, a substitute into the game. Pass goes up, and Pfefferberger cannot hit the shot. Number 0, Slater, finds his man Stover. Stover up the left-hand side. 35 on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock. Pass goes up for Stover. Stover finds his man Hawkins. Deshaun Hawkins dribbling. An 11-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Hawkins to his right. He goes up. And that's a foul. 1 and 1 it will be because it is the 7th foul of the half for Episcopal. And now the substitutes will be coming in. That's Greenspan coming in for Episcopal. First shot of the 1 and 1 is off target. Xavier Johnson picks the rebound up. Where's he gonna go? He's being trapped. Tambu takes it. Over for Pfefferberger. Pfefferberger throws across the court. Back for Johnson. Across for Tambu. Where's he gonna go? He looks to be trapped. He goes up for the shot. Misses. The dunk attempt fails. And the stop is over. 35-21. The Richard Montgomery Rockets lead the Episcopal High School Maroons. And now we will step away for the halftime break. And then we will have a brief halftime show to recap what has happened so far this game. And the score is now the Richard Montgomery Rockets 35, the Episcopal Maroons 21, here on the IZN Internet Sports Network. That pass is tipped. There's a foul. Now the substitutes will be coming in. That's Greenspan coming in for Episcopal. First shot of the 1 and 1 is off target. Xavier Johnson picks the rebound up. Where's he gonna go? He's being trapped. Tambu takes it. Over for Pfefferberger. Pfefferberger throws across the court. Back for Johnson. Across for Tambu. Where's he gonna go? He looks to be trapped. He goes up for the shot. Misses. The dunk attempt fails. And the stop is over. 35-21, the Richard Montgomery Rockets lead the Episcopal High School Maroons. And now we will step away for a halftime break. And then we will have a brief halftime show to recap what has happened so far this game. And the score is now the Richard Montgomery Rockets 35, the Episcopal Maroons 21, here on the IZN Internet Sports Network. Pass and tip, there's a foul. It looks like. And now the substitutes will be coming in. That's Greenspawn coming in for Episcopal. First shot of the 1-and-1. Off target. Xavier Johnson picks the. Where's he gonna go? He's being trapped. Tambu takes it. Over for Pfefferberger. Pfefferberger goes across the court. Back for Johnson. Across for Tambu. Where's he gonna go? He looks to be trapped. He goes up for the shot. Misses. The dunk attempt fails. And the time is over. 35-21. The Richard Montgomery Rockets lead the Episcopal High School Maroons. And now we will step away for a halftime break. And then we will have a brief halftime show to recap what has happened so far this game. And the score is now the Richard Montgomery Rockets 35, the Episcopal Maroons 21, here on the IZN Internet Sports Network. Pass and tip, there's a foul. Substitutes will be coming in. That's Greenspawn coming in for Episcopal. First shot of the 1-and-1. Off target. Xavier Johnson picks the. Where's he gonna go? He's being trapped. Show to recap what has happened so far this game. And the score is now the Richard Montgomery Rockets 35, the Episcopal Maroons 21, here on the IZN Internet Sports Network. And so far it looks like the Richard Montgomery Rockets have somehow turned their performance around after coming out sort of flat in the first quarter. It does seem that both teams played flat in the first quarter, but it also seems that the second quarter was a combination of substitutes will be coming in. That's Greenspawn of Episcopal regressing on offense by making very many unforced turnovers. The Richard Montgomery defense coming alive, and the Rockets being able to sink many opportune shots. That is how a game that ended the first quarter with a very close 14-10 differential in favor of Episcopal turned into a 35-21 game in favor of Richard Montgomery. And in a little bit over 4 minutes, we'll be back for the second half of this game following these messages here on the IZN Internet Sports Radio Network. Stay classic, folks. back underway for the third quarter. And the ball is tied up. Ball goes the other way. Episcopal now attacking toward their own basket. Ball gets picked up. Number 5 cuts. The shot is missed. Richard Montgomery now going the other way. Here comes Stover. Stover on the left-hand side sets up Alexander. Darren Alexander misses the 3. And number 3 for the Episcopal Maroons comes up. This one is tipped. Tipped again. Number 3 picks up the rebound. Melanda Columba. Johnson redirects to the right-hand side. 3-point shot is off the mark. Zaire Mitchell-Payton picks up yet another rebound. Here comes Alexander. Alexander moving up the left-hand side. He passes. Stover shoots for 2. That one misses. Not a single made shot this period. And that shot goes in. Episcopal will now score. Alexander and Stover making the exchange. Darren Alexander dribbles over the E. Finds his man Tamba. Back for Alexander, cutting to the basket. He is stood up by number 11. That was Greenspan. Greenspan finds a man on the wing. 3-point bid is off. Richard Montgomery will be taking it back right now. Here comes 23. That one is tipped and intercepted. That's Pfeffenberger. Pfeffenberger found Greenspan. He found Johnson. And a shot for 3 points. Mwanda Kalema will score. And a timeout called by Richard Montgomery as Episcopal scores 5 points to get back into this game. I think Coach Breslau needed to slow the tempo of this game down, get his team to focus again. And now both teams reported for timeout. This is going to be the first horn. Both teams will report back to the court soon. Now both teams are headed back. Richard Montgomery will inbound the ball. Following the timeout with the right to run the end line. As the previous stoppage had been Episcopal making a basket. 5:54 will remain in the third quarter. The ball is inbounded. That is Hawkins. Taking the ball across. Jashawn Hawkins found Darren Alexander. Alexander trying to find his way by Kenneally, but no! Greenspan there to intercept the pass. He finds Xavier Johnson. Johnson cuts. Tries for a layup. He misses, gets his own rebound, puts it up and is fouled. He misses the shot, but he has the chance to make it up by scoring 2 free throws. .5:32 remains in the quarter. Johnson gets set, shoots, he scores! And a substitute comes into the game. That is number 0, Andre Slater. And 1 shot will remain. Here comes Johnson. He puts it up, and it rolls in. He gets the friendly roll. This is now a 7-point game. Richard Montgomery has not scored a point this quarter. Still, Darren Alexander hopes to change that as he makes a quick dribble to his left, tries to get by Johnson. No, he does not. He drives to the basket. He will score. Richard Montgomery, first basket. Now it's set 37-28. Off of Alexander. Johnson. And the one to Columba. Misses. Rebound picked up by the Rockets. That's Alexander. Alexander fires it down court. Here comes Stover. Stover cutting to the basket. And he gets hit on the hand as he puts it up. And a substitute will now come into the game. And that contact was apparently not ruled a shooting foul. Zaire Mitchell-Payton. He found number 22 in for Stover. He will score. There's DeMarco Mora. Johnson. Johnson receives the pass from Greenspan. Sends the pass over to the left-hand side. And that shot from Louis Tambu missed. Rockets coming the other way. A layup attempt is no good. Tip in, no good again. And Tambu, he was out of control, but he gets it over to Johnson, and a layup attempt is good. Episcopal immediately calling timeout. That's 39-30. And with 4:27 left in the third quarter, this is now a 9-point game. This will be a 30-second timeout as Episcopal wants to be able to return to the game quickly. So far, the Rockets have used 1 timeout. Episcopal has used 3. And both teams are going to be returning to the court shortly. And now Deshaun Hawkins will be inbounding the ball for the Rockets. And we are now underway. Alexander receives the ball. Darren Alexander. He takes it across the E on the midcourt logo. Finds a man. That's Hawkins. Hawkins redirects the ball. And Stover with a layup attempt is no good. That bit is tipped. And number 3 takes it to the rim. And it rolls in. There's a foul and one. And George Mawande Kalema has the opportunity to make a 3-point play right here. The lead has now been reduced to 7. And for all intents and purposes, this is now Episcopal's quarter. As Mawande Kalema takes the ball, a few dribbles, shoots, and scores. And we are back underway. 39-33. Richard Montgomery leads. 3-point bid from the corner. Bang! That one is good. And Hawkins trying to pump up the Richard Montgomery crowd. This is a 9-point game. 42-33. Mawande Kalema cuts to the basket. That layup attempt is no good. That repeat bid is no good, but Pfaffenberger will put that in. Zach Pfaffenberger off the bid by Senkinially. And another foul committed by Richard Montgomery. Back to a 7-point game, are we? As the Rockets lead at 42-35. 3:27 remaining in the third quarter. And Pfaffenberger will shoot right now. And he scores. Play right here. And we are now back to action. For all intents and purposes, this is now Episcopal. Alexander. Garrett Alexander fires across the ball, receives the return pass. In and out, and Hawkins hits the 3. He was contacted on the way down. So Xavier Johnson. Johnson taking another way behind the back dribble. What a move. Pass to the corner. 3-point bid. Off the mark. 39-33. Julian Stover picks up the rebound. 3-point bid from the corner. Bang! That one is good. And ball goes in. That bid no good as well. And that was Greenspan. Greenspan finding Johnson. Johnson up the right-hand side. Three-pointer from the wing. No good. Rebound picked up by Richard Montgomery. That was Mitchell Payton right there. Excuse me, that was Slater there, number 0. Alexander, Darren Alexander finds Hawkins. Hawkins back for Alexander, 14 on the shot clock. Back for Hawkins for 3 from the corner. Bang! He hits a 3-point bid from the wing. And it's now 45-36. This is a 9-point game yet again. Xavier Johnson opts for a pass to the left. Gets the pass back. That was number 5. And a drive. A block. That was a foul as Sen Keaney puts in the layup. That's now 45-38 with the opportunity to make one more point. And Breslaw, Coach Breslaw will be calling a timeout because he really needs to get his team refocused now. They lead now, but they're playing almost as sloppily as Episcopal had played in the second quarter. No, that actually wasn't a timeout, just talking to his substitutes for a few moments, as that was number 20, Willem Brown, coming in. And Keaney will be set to shoot the free throw. He makes it. 45-39. As with 2 minutes, 12 seconds, Richard Montgomery will be inbounding. This is a 6-point game. The margin was originally bigger, but Episcopal has slowly chipped away at this lead. Alexander moves to his left, finds Stover. Stover being double teamed, and a foul called. And that will be a spot foul. And number 4 being called for the hold. That was Louis Tambu. It's his 3rd foul. Ball is being put in play. Hawkins facing off against Johnson. Hawkins cuts to his right. Johnson still ahead of him. Tries to get past Tambu. Shoots. Misses. Pfefferberger takes it. Finds number 3, George Mwanda Kalema. Mwanda Kalema receives the pass. Sends it back across through the hands of Tambu to Johnson. Back for Tambu. Tambu driving. Misses the shot. Tambu puts up another attempt. Off the rim. Rebound picked up by Richard Montgomery. The Rockets going the other way. Pass across. Who has it? It's passed for Alexander for 3. He misses. Alexander secures his own rebound. And it's tipped out of bounds. And a substitute will now be coming in for Episcopal. And then Sen Keaney replacing Stuart Greenspan. Pass goes in. That was Willem Brown, the initial receiver, and Stover puts it in. Stover off a secondary assist from Brown and Threet. And now it's a 47-39 game. 8-point difference. Just over a minute to go. And here comes Mwanda Kalema. Passes it in for Keaney. Back for Mwanda Kalema. Up, shoots, misses. Keaney gets the rebound. Mwanda Kalema with the layup, and it's in. 47-41. This is a 6-point game. Fans are shouting. The student section is on their feet. Alexander gets the screen. Driving right, driving left, leaves the pass. Stover. And a timeout called. A 30-second timeout called by Coach Breslaw. 35.1 seconds remaining on the clock. As this quarter is looking for Richard Montgomery, much in the way that the second quarter looked for Episcopal. However, the Rockets still lead by 6. Play will resume. 35.1 seconds to go. The Richard Montgomery Rockets currently leading the Episcopal Maroons by a 47-41 score. And Darren Alexander takes the throw-in. He exchanges with Stover. He accepts the screen from Brown. Brown receives. Three-point shot. He makes it. Bang! That is good. 50-41. 20 seconds left as Johnson crosses the timeline. Leaves a pass to number 4, Tambu. And then redirects the ball to Mwanda Kalemba. Mwanda Kalemba off a foot. Richard Montgomery going the other way. Odd man rush. That ball is blocked. And 4.0 seconds exactly remaining. 50-41. Richard Montgomery leads. And a foul has been called. And 3 shots. As the first one is through. Joshawn Hawkins. It's the first of 3 shots. Two shots. That's now a 10-point game. 51-41 in favor of the Rockets. He makes another one. 52-41. And the Episcopal section's booing, but he makes that one too. He gets a friendly roll, and now a 9-point game turns into a 12-point game. Taken quickly up the court by Johnson for a 3. Bang! He makes it! He makes it! Unbelievable! He scores the 3-point shot. 53-44 remain with no time remaining in the third. That was an amazing shot. I thought with him being that badly off bounds that he'd miss, but no, Johnson somehow made it. Unbelievable. Like Richard Montgomery started the quarter in a sloppy way, but now they seem to have cleaned up their act, gotten open looks on offense, played good defense, they've given themselves space and time, and now the Rockets have a 9-point lead. It's not insurmountable, but they still have a chance to close off this game with a win. As for Episcopal, they have to really shut down the Rockets' offense, not allow them time and space, and they have to convert on their own shots. They'll not always be able to benefit from miracle shots like the one that Johnson scored. Third. That was an amazing shot. And now we are underway again. Toward Mwanda Kalemba. Sent the ball in for Johnson. Back for Mwanda Kalemba. Back for Johnson. Johnson made the miracle 3 for Mwanda Kalemba for 3. Bang! He scores! And this is now a 6-point game. 2 consecutive threes made by Episcopal. And a chance of defense, go. Alexander finds a man. That's Hawkins. Back for Alexander. What's he going to do? He's going to shoot. Off targets. GMK takes it, number 3. Finds a pass. And that one is Pfefferberger, who makes it for 2. 49-53, this is a 4-point game. Episcopal has scored 3 and 2, an 8-point run since the end of the third quarter. Richard Montgomery rotating the ball. This is now Alexander, 14 on the shot clock. He drops the ball back for Hawkins. Alexander and Hawkins playing a 2-man game. There, Mitchell Payton cutting. Stover takes it. 1 second on the shot clock. Shot off target. No, it hit the rim. No shot clock violation. Mitchell Payton shoots. And Richard Montgomery obviously wanting the foul call, but they will not get it. Tambu dribbles, shoots, misses. Rebound picked up by Mitchell Payton as Richard Montgomery cleans up on the other end. And Tambu looks to be hurt. Folks, Louis Tambu looks to be in a lot of pain after trying to get that rebound. And the trainer currently working out his leg. I hope it's nothing more than a cramp, but still it'll be an issue that will require him to leave the game, as there is a new quintet on the floor for Episcopal, as Sankinili has checked into the game. And two players looking to help escort young Mr. Tambu off the floor. 6:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Richard Montgomery leading Episcopal 53-49. And the fans are now giving him an appreciative hand of and a round of applause as he walks off. He may come back to this game. Richard Montgomery will have possession in the front court. 27 seconds on the shot clock. When we resume play, Darren Alexander receiving possession. Matched up against Stuart Greenspan. He fires the pass up for Mitchell Payton. Mitchell Payton driving to his right, then his left. Back to Alexander. Alexander driving to the hoop. Layup attempt is good. And it's now a 6-point lead. 55-49. Just over 6 minutes to go. On to Kalemba, passing it over for Greenspan. Greenspan found Johnson, back for Greenspan. That one is tipped. Richard Montgomery taking it the other way. And what a play! There was a dunk attempt and a foul. Deshaun Hawkins would have put that in. But he was fouled on the way up. That was still an amazing play. A steal and an attempted score. Let's see if he capitalizes on these free throws as he has done earlier. He does. He makes one. 56-49, 5:57 to go. And here comes the second free throw. And that's also good. 57-49. This is an 8-point game again. As George Mwanda Kalemba dribbles over the timeline, over the E logo, through the middle of the court to Xavier Johnson, to Greenspan, and Pfefferberger. Pfefferberger lost his dribble for a moment, but picked it up. Pass to Kinney. Kinney misses. And he gets the rebound, but he's immediately tied up by the Rockets. And the Rockets will receive possession. 5 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the period, with a 57-49 lead. And here comes Alexander, Darren Alexander. Cuts to his left, leaves the ball back. That's Hawkins. Hawkins passes inside. And another pass for Mitchell Payton. He scores. Stover with the assist. It's now a 10-point game, 59-49. Xavier Johnson cuts, shoots a three. Bang! He scores! And a timeout now called. Richard Montgomery has called a timeout, as the score now lies 59 for Richard Montgomery, 52 for Episcopal. Oh, excuse me, that was Episcopal calling the timeout. They need to reassess their strategy, figure out what they're doing on offense, and figure out a way to profit on defense to prevent Richard Montgomery from getting the open looks that they've been getting this game. Because if you look at the rosters, Richard Montgomery has a decided height advantage over the Maroons. Yes, they do. And you can see that because Episcopal does not have a true center on their roster. They need to find a way to win with space. They need to find a way to win with space instead of strength. Now, 5 minutes, 10 seconds will remain in the fourth quarter. As the Rockets will get possession. Stover and Alexander exchanging. Here comes Darren Alexander facing his opposite number to Stover. The Episcopal defense is getting loud right now. Zaire Mitchell Payton dribbles to the left. Oh. somehow saved the ball, but it's going the other way. Johnson drives to the basket. He scores! 54-59. This is a game. And that pass recovered in stride. Three-point attempt is no good. That was Hawkins right there. As Johnson receives the pass from Greenspan. Johnson cutting to the left. 20 seconds on the shot clock. He gets it to Greenspan. Gets it to Kenyally. Kenyally drives up, and he botches the handle on that ball. He had a very good chance to score, but could not get it to go. Still, Episcopal has 13 on the shot clock, 4:22 on the game clock. Xavier Johnson makes a fake. Pass over to Pfefferberger. Now Johnson for three. Misses. Kenyally goes up. And that was tipped. And Episcopal will have possession. Episcopal will have possession as it went off a Richard Montgomery player. Right now, 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Greenspan throws it up. Kenyally recovers. Goes Milanda Kalemba. Dribbles to his left. Passes over to Johnson. Johnson fires into Greenspan. Greenspan finds Pfefferberger, will score! Pfefferberger scores, and it's now a three-point game. 59-56 for the Rockets. Just under 4 minutes to play, and this gym is getting excited, folks. Alexander finds Stover. Stover challenging Johnson. Back to Alexander. Darren Alexander. Receive the ball, pass it to Hawkins. Back for Alexander. For Hawkins, 7 on the shot clock. A three-point shot by Hawkins. Missed. Rebound picked up and score! And score! That was DeMarco Morrow. And timeout now called. And a 60-second timeout now called by Richard Montgomery. This is a 5-point game. Let's look back at some of the strengths that we've seen in this game. The Richard Montgomery defense has always been very opportunistic, forcing turnovers. They've had good transition offense coming in from their backcourt into the front court. They've been able to get the half-court sets. They've been able to rotate players and get good shots. And Episcopal had a good chance to do that when they forced Hawkins to take a long three and forced the shot clock to drain. But still, very opportunistic rebounding by the Rockets was able to get them points. Another thing for Episcopal to do is they need to win the battles on the defensive boards as well as on the offensive boards. They've been able to score points off their own rebounds, but they've not been able to prevent Richard Montgomery from getting points off their rebounds. Still, we'll see how things go as we come out of this timeout. 3 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. Let's move on to Kalemba. Finds Xavier Johnson. Xavier Johnson drives to the right. Who's he going to find? It's Greenspan. Back to Johnson for three. Misses. Rebound is picked up by Darren Alexander. Although Richard Montgomery guards are good rebounders. Alexander's no exception to that. He tries to pull away from his man. Pass goes inside. Here comes Morrow. Morrow to Mitchell Payton. Mitchell Payton trying to go up. He does. He scores. And now it's 63-56. Johnson trying to quickly set up. Where's he going to go? Passes it over to Pfefferberger. Back for Johnson. Richard Montgomery doing a good job denying the quick shot. That one is blocked. Look at Alexander. He extended his arms for that one. And now Alexander receives the pass back from Mitchell Payton. He dribbles across the E logo. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Pass goes into Mitchell Payton. Mitchell Payton finds Alexander. Darren Alexander holding the ball. Looking for a good shot. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And a pass. Morrow shoots. He misses. And Episcopal had the ball, so no shot clock violation. A 7-point game. Jumping on to Kalemba, misses. Tipped. Rebound. Who has it? Richard Montgomery does. Mitchell Payton. Now Alexander takes the ball up the court. Episcopal has the alternating possession arrow. Should anything happen. Pass goes up, almost to nobody, but Alexander materialized in time. And Johnson committed the foul. And substitutes will now come in for Richard Montgomery. And that is number 23, Evan Threet, reporting into the game. Alexander makes the pass for Mitchell Payton. Mitchell Payton, facing his opposite number, puts one up but misses. And Pfefferberger. Now Moanda Kalemba. This is a 7-point game. 1 minute, 26 seconds to go. 3-point shot from the corner by Johnson off the rim. Ball trickles away. Richard Montgomery picking it up. Pass. They're just trying to play keep away right now. An aggressive attempt by Greenspan. Richard Montgomery playing their slow down offense, but they can't slow down too much because of the shot clock. And that pass is tipped. Episcopal coming up with it. He fell to the floor in possession of the ball, and a held ball is called. Episcopal will now have possession just under a minute. 59.9 seconds to go. Shot clock now reset. This is a 7-point game. If Episcopal makes a quick shot, they might have a chance to get back into this one. Here comes Moanda Kalemba. Shoots out of bounds. That attempt went out. 25 seconds on the shot clock. 54 seconds with 54.9 remaining on the game clock. Pass. Moanda Kalemba shoots. 3. Misses. Rebound picked up by the Rockets. And a foul. And I would not blame an intentional foul call here. Now Richard Montgomery will be inbounding the ball. As the issue with the clock is resolved, and Alexander will be throwing the ball in. Darren Alexander. Episcopal will be looking to foul whoever receives the ball. Stover picks up and he is fouled. Excuse me, that was not Stover, that was Evan Threet right there. Threet is fouled. This is foul number 6. One more and it's a bonus situation for the Rockets. 47.8 seconds remain. I wonder why the games turn into ridiculous fouling contests at the end. Ball picked up, and a foul now called. And a foul called against Episcopal again. This is now a 1-on-1 shooting situation, but Hawkins is the wrong man to put at the line. He's had ice water in his blood, but he misses this shot. Episcopal takes it back. Moanda Kalemba goes for the basket. He misses. Kenya Lee goes in, shoots on the foul. And now this is a 5-point game. If Kenya Lee is to make the free throw, this will be a 4-point game. And number 1, Stover, was guilty of the foul for Richard Montgomery. And a timeout now called. This is a 60-second timeout called by Richard Montgomery. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. All Richard Montgomery has to do is get possession of the ball, move the ball around, work the clock, get a good shot, and once they score, what they need to do is play good defense, get possession, run the clock out. What Episcopal needs to do is make the free throw, get the ball, and try for another shot to tie the game up. There's just enough time left in the game for 1 shot clock series and at least 1 more possession following that. as the Maroons report back to the court. And now we will see the Rockets coming back for the final 38.8 seconds of this game. The shot clock and game clock will run with an 8-second difference once the clock starts. And the Episcopal fans now stamping the floor in support of Sankinili as he attempts to make the free throw. He shoots. He will score. That's another 4-point game. 59-63. The Rockets can run the baseline. However, what's he going to do? He throws it in. And a foul. And Greenspan did not attempt at the ball. He hit the player. Well, the ref must have judged that he attempted to get the ball, so it's just a 1-and-1 foul. This is the 8th foul for the half. And the first shot is missed. Rebound picked up and tipped out of bounds. 33.4 seconds left. 28 seconds on the shot clock. This is now a 4-point game. 2 possessions. Melinda Kalemba, he's fouled. I don't know why is Richard Montgomery fouling right now. I know this is not going to be a bonus situation for one more foul, but the winning team has no reason to be fouling. All they have to do is deny a shot. That's all they have to do. Melinda Kalemba tries to get by his man. It's a screen. Tries to put a shot up. This one is blocked. Rebound picked up. Episcopal will score. And that is number 5, Zuckerberger. At least 3 seconds have run off the clock, calling the timeout call. And now this is a 2-point game. 18.3 seconds are now displayed. The clock operator needs to put some more time back on the clock. 63-61. And now the clock is reset to 23.0 seconds. And this is the last timeout that Episcopal has, and they are now out of timeouts. Richard Montgomery has 1 timeout. Let's see what this last 23 seconds will bring us, because this has been a game of streaks. One team has gotten hot, then the other, then the other. And now, after what had been a 14-point lead at halftime, only 2 points now remains. As the final seconds of this timeout are counting down. The gym is silent. Tension is in the air. The first horn blows. The Rockets are back on the floor. The Maroons are back on the floor. 23.0 seconds to go. Rockets will now inbound the ball following the made shot. No shot clock. Episcopal is yelling. Ball picked up. Alexandria throws it up. And a foul. That Pfefferberger tugged on the jersey. This is the 9th foul. Still a 1-and-1 situation as we have 18.7 seconds remaining on the clock. Rockets are leading by a score of 63-61. And Julian Stover will be taking the free throws. He gets one more should he make the first one. And he misses. Chance for one more possession. Melinda Kalemba takes it. 14, 13, 12 seconds. He cuts to his right, 10 seconds. To his left, 9 seconds. And a whistle. And Melinda Kalemba got pushed on the way up, 8.5 seconds. 1 free throw. If he makes it, he has a chance to tie the game right here. Both teams are in the bonus. 1 timeout for Richard Montgomery, none for Episcopal. Nothing to lose. Here's the free throw. He makes it. The Episcopal fans are ecstatic. 1 point remains. 63-62. And now the Rockets elect to use their final timeout. Now we have the first horn. And following this first horn, George Mwanda Kalema has a crucial free throw to make. If he can make it, this game is tied, and we may have overtime. If not, either team has a chance to win. As we have 8.5 seconds on the clock, both teams are now officially out of timeouts, pending the Rockets' return to the court. They lead 63-62. This game may hinge on the outcome of this free throw. Both teams waiting with bated breath. The free throw rims out, and a foul is called. And the Episcopal fans are dismal. The Richard Montgomery fans are ecstatic. They are now in the double bonus, but with it being a team control foul. No, it's not a team control foul. Apparently it's not ruled a team control foul. So the Rockets will now have the chance to attempt two free throws. 7.9 seconds to go. They're leading by one. If Stover makes these, the game could become a one-possession game with a three-point shot for Episcopal at the time. First free throw misses. It's not 1 and 1. It's two shots, folks. It was a double bonus. Stover missed the first shot. Still, a shot makes it a two-point game, forcing a three to win. Stover will shoot. He will score. Ball rolls in, 7.9 seconds. Mwanda Kalema takes it. 6, 5, 4. He cuts to the basket. Puts it up, misses. The attempt misses. Ball tipped away. No time on the clock. No time on the clock. The Rockets have won by 2. And what a finish to a game that was as exciting as it was billed. As the Richard Montgomery Rockets win it 64-62 in a finish that has gone all the way down to the wire. Still, the officials are talking it over. And now a technical foul against Episcopal. This is unusual. There are 0 seconds on the clock, yet teams are still lining up for free throws. This is atypical. Maybe the clock must have run down a little bit too much. Well, 1.5 seconds are back on the clock. Excuse me, folks, we will still be playing. 1.5 seconds to go. Rockets lead by 2. And now Evan Threet has the chance to ice the game. One shot is good. He makes it. 62-65. And now another shot by Threet makes it a 4-point game if he makes this. He does! He does! 66-62 Episcopal lead. Ball is put into play. Time runs out, and now this game is officially over. The Rockets now win 66-62. Following that controversy with the clock, this game is now officially final. Both teams are shaking hands. And this has been a very good, very exciting game. And now, on behalf of IZN Internet Sports Network, I'm Ilya Zhytomyrsky from the Episcopal Gym saying so long. folks, we will still be playing. 1.5 seconds to go. Rockets lead by 2. Now Evan Threaton has the chance to ice the game. One shot is good. He makes it. 60-65. 4-point game.